It is exciting to be here today to celebrate with Pacific Ethanol and Boardman and in the opening of this plant. And I just think it's terrific for our state. You've heard it from the governor about energy independence. Clearly, there's terrific opportunity in ethanol to help us go down that path. But it's just the first step. And as we will learn in the coming years, there are terrific opportunities for new research to move America forward toward energy independence. In fact, there are some scientists who say if we're able to make the breakthroughs they think are possible with cellulosic technologies, a young person who's 17 years old today might not have to rely on Middle East oil when they're as old as I am, which is really old if you ask my 17-year-old. In other words, by 2050, 33 years, we could be energy independent in America. If some of the technologies that today are being perfected prove into where they can really be rolled out. And the key is to incent these new technologies. You're seeing it here today with what's been done in the past in federal and state policy to incent the ethanol production. There are some terrific opportunities ahead though. Things like prairie grass and corn stalks, fast-growing trees, woody biomass debris, or even algae. Yes, even algae could be turned into a fuel source. And I just think this is on the vanguard. This is the very front end of this effort toward energy independence. If you look at the research that is underway at the National Renewable Energy Lab in Golden, Colorado, they are taking biomass, woody biomass, and it takes a long time right now, but they can take a ton of biomass and in 1 week produce 70 gallons of ethanol. Now that isn't going to solve our problem, but they're figuring out the pieces to get there. Switchgrass can produce as much energy as an acre of sugarcane, and you know what the Brazilians have been able to do with sugarcane as well as other things to develop their own energy independence. If you took 50 million acres of ground that's fallow today and put in perennial grasses and began to farm those, just today in America you could produce half the energy needs we use for transportation. All right? These are things that are possible. Algae, a single cell pond scum. Look, I've been called worse, okay? Algae, there is scientific research underway with a former MIT professor in Massachusetts where they can use algae in water in plastic bags that will siphon off the carbon and other pollutants off of coal-fired plants and grow this algae. Now, what does that do? Some algae can double its mass in hours. Now you think about that. And let me put it in perspective. For each acre of corn we produce about 300 gallons of ethanol. For each acre of biomass you can produce 60 gallons of biodiesel. And for each acre of algae you could produce 5,000 gallons of biodiesel a year. All right? Pretty significant, and you can reduce carbon emissions and other pollutants into the algae, produce it into a fuel that could be used. And in fact, the Arizona Public Service, their state's largest utility, is looking at a plant out of Red Hawk that would produce 2,000 acres and could double the amount of biofuels produced today using algae. These are tremendous opportunities that are ahead for our generation and the next generations of Oregonians and others to produce fuels that are environmentally friendly, that can spur economic development in rural areas and make a difference for our country. So I commend Pacific Ethanol for being on the forefront of this effort, and for all of you for being here today and the investment that this company has made in this great community. Thank you very much.